This brings me back to Richard. So if we look at the different sectors, are there any particular sectors that you would want to highlight where we can integrate and work together? And this will probably give us potential benefits, you know, especially in talking about innovative volunteerism, so that we don't just work in isolation. You know, when Rashid was talking about waste, how we can use that, how we can transform that. Are there examples that you could point to and things you've done?
Regardless of the sector in which we can work, the bigger issue to look at is, are we willing to work in the first place? And when I'm talking we here, I'm bringing it back to the African context, where we have over 60% of the population youthful. Is there appetite to work to solve problems, or is there appetite to work to generate wealth for ourselves? And why I'm bringing that dimension is, if you look at the African continent today, 65% of uncultivated arable land is in this continent. 365 days of sunshine every day. There is no other continent in the world that gets this amount of sunshine. Africa has got it all. And everyone eats. What does that tell you? It means a continent. The paradox is sometimes it's so difficult to talk about these things. 65% of uncultivated arable land, 257 million people going to bed hungry. 365 days of sunshine, 620 million citizens energy impoverished. Hey, this one, as they say in pidgin English. I think, Dr. Yenka, you know better than that. I am saying this because if you look at all these, you cannot develop any country or any continent without focusing it in what I call the engine epic center. What does that mean? The engine epic center is actually what I also call the engine sector. What can drive transformational development at the same time lifting people from the bottom of the pyramid. If you look at the African continent, is the agro sector. And when I'm talking agriculture, I'm not talking about tilling the soil alone. I'm talking agriculture from an agro value chain, where we produce, working with the environment, not against the environment, where we add value to what we produce, because we're speaking today in a continent that have an agro value market worth 150 billion US dollars. Do you know what the continent is doing? Importing food worth 35 billion US dollars each and every year. That's importing unemployment and exporting employment. How do you produce food and you do not add value? I mean, because that is why it's quite very important to actually really look. Sometimes I say we are an intensive care unit as a continent. You produce, you don't add value, you export, and you import, depreciating your foreign reserves. And worst of all, every year the continent actually witnesses 48 billion US dollars losses as a result of post-harvest losses. So our mothers in villages grow their tomatoes. It gets wasted because they cannot preserve it. They threw it away. They grow. But there is a dangerous narrative that has been perpetuated over years. And that is why I think we need to also develop counter narratives as we drive these social innovations and entrepreneurship. In that, the fact that we are being ascribed, we continuously ascribe to these sorry narratives. I call them sorry narratives. Without critiquing them, has actually made us to think that Africa's issue is about production. No, the issue is about value addition. And you cannot add value in a way that destroys the environment. You should add value with solar energy. You have 365 days of sunshine. Leverage on that sunshine, free energy. And the good news is every country have got a clean energy policy, what they call feed-in tariffs. And within all the Paris Climate Change Agreement, they do have that. But what we have not done as citizens, now let me give some credit to government here. What we have not done as citizens is to sit back and say, we are actually sitting on challenges and we can devise solutions to turn those challenges into billions as individuals. But every day, government know they do them now. Government is not doing it. Government is not doing it. Shouting and talking. Like Dr. Yinka said, the issue is not money. I mean, I've told people, the issue is not money. Africa is actually the richest continent on earth. No, forget the minerals underneath. if you can import food 35 billion every year, plus 48 billion, which is being lost every year as a result of post-harvest losses, you are talking 83 billion, just in one sector. So if you are to reverse just post-harvest losses, you'll be pocketing 48 billion in your pocket. But you cannot do it alone. You must then be able to partner with others, because if you don't partner, you think that you can do it alone, you will fail. And I really like the aspect of isolation as was articulated by all the panelists. There is this selfishness that has involved a lot of people, which is not our problem as the generation of today. It was created since independence, even before independence, and we cannot ignore it in the context of this social and innovation discussion, because if we cannot develop selfless attitude to partner, to share ideas, because your strengths and uniqueness is different from mine. And by coming together and bringing our skills and talent, we can tap into reversing that 48 billion US dollars as a result of post-harvest losses and inspire young people to develop solutions like simple solar dryers that youth are already developing, leveraging on the spirit of innovative volunteerism today, is helping mothers reverse the losses, whether it is cassava, from their tomatoes, from their vegetables. And that is not only helping change lives, but at the same time putting money put in the mother's pocket, because you can then dry her vegetables and sell it when she wants it. And the youth developing those simple solar dryers using local material, putting money in their pocket. So what is the point? The sectors are agriculture and clean energy, but you need information communication technology to connect to the market. So the system thinking comes to play. In as much as we have sectors, it doesn't really mean anything. Can we be able to connect the dots? Connecting the dots is the only way we can bring transformational change and lift people from the bottom of the pyramid.